Elon Musk is active right now, and he is pissed off at a lot of the news that is coming out. This time, censorship, right? It's been a crazy, like, 3 hours, right? We found out that Trump has been indicted again. We found out that RFK, they are denying RFK to be taken off the ballot in some swing states. Democrats are on the verge of like total collapse. It feels like the United States is about to experience something huge. And Elon Musk is making these encrypted posts, but still big time posts. So Elon Musk says no guarantee of free speech. He worries, and here he is exposing Tim Walz and something that he said. And we're going to go through a series of events that are taking place, and Elon Musk is in the center of all of them. We're also going to be talking about Mark Zuckerberg and X, because Elon Musk is legitimately speaking out in front of millions and millions of Americans. As you can see here, this post has 47.4 million views. Now, why would this post get so many views? So apparently Elon Musk feels that a Walz-Harris administration, they're going to go after him. They're going to go after free speech. Take a listen to Tim Walz, and this is what Elon Musk posted. Take a listen.
I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy. I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy. Why
is Elon Musk posting this? He's posting this because it shows you that the moment that you consider hate speech to be not free speech, the moment you start right now going after free speech and the First Amendment, you're gonna get big problems. Now let's go to another Elon Musk post. This was Elon Musk. This post went extremely viral, 34.6 million views. Sounds like a First Amendment violation. Now, what is he talking about? House Judiciary posted Mark Zuckerberg just admitted three things. Biden-Harris administration pressured Facebook to censor Americans. Facebook censored Americans. Facebook throttled the Hunter Biden laptop story. This is a big win for free speech, but this is coming up now. And Elon Musk, remember, he let out the Twitter files. He did a whole Twitter files thing. And Elon Musk was correct this whole time. He was right that the FBI was pushing X, pushing Meta, pushing everything to basically censor Americans. So Elon Musk is pretty much pissed off about all of this coming out. As you can see, it was a letter here. We're going to be talking about this because this is a huge letter that proves Trump to have been correct. And remember, they took Trump off Twitter. So here we go. Now let's go real quick because it's been so many crazy things happening. Let me actually go through a timeline here posted by Elon Musk. This is the timeline. It's insane. In the days after RFK Jr., and I want you guys to see this, accused the left of dismantling democracy by rigging elections through the courts and the media, the following has happened. Take a look at what has happened so far ever since the RFK endorsement of Trump. Number one, Democrats are forcing him to remain on the ballot in Michigan and Wisconsin so they can try and take votes away from Trump. Crazy. Look at this. Democrats are forcing him to remain on the ballot. Remember, RFK's whole endorsement was to get out of the ballot specifically in swing states. Now Michigan is forcing him to stay on. Crazy. Number two, RFK reveals he is being forced to cough up $10 million to defend himself from Democrats who wanted him to want to keep him off the ballots. Number three, Jack Smith just filed a superseding indictment against Donald Trump just 70 days before the 2024 election. Number four, Mark Zuckerberg finally confirms the Biden administration pressured Meta into censoring Americans, and the FBI pressured Meta to silence Hunter Biden laptop story. Number five, the media has launched multiple slander campaigns against RFK to minimize the impact of his endorsement. And this is the post that was posted. Let's take a listen here.
True to its name, it was the Party of Democracy. As you know, I left that party in October because it had departed so dramatically from the core values that I grew up with. It had become the party of war, censorship, corruption, big pharma, big tech, big ag, and big money, which we saw for the first time in American history of the judiciary to get rid of candidates. You know what they tried to do to me? They're suing me now in a dozen states. I've been in trials for the past 3 weeks. You know, I've spent most of my time not campaigning, but sitting in court in cases that are trying to get me off the ballot. So, like, I had 1 million people, 1 million American citizens sign petitions, more than any candidate in history. Everybody said I'd never do this, impossible to be in the ballot in 50 states. Well, guess what? We got on the ballot in 50 states. And we did it by getting 1 million.
Isn't that crazy? They were trying to keep him off the ballots. And now Elon and everybody realize, wait, they're trying to keep him on the ballot now because he wants to help Trump by getting off the ballot in these swing states. Unbelievable.
Citizens to sign petitions saying that they wanted to vote for me. And the Democratic Party now is suing me in all those states to make sure that those people cannot vote for the person they want to. When I was growing up, the Democratic Party was of RFK and JFK was the party that was fighting for voting rights. It was fighting to make sure that every American could vote for the candidate of their choice, no matter whether they're black or white or where they lived or Democrat or Republican. Now the Democratic Party, today's Democratic Party, feels so unconfident about the candidates that it's putting forward. And it feels the only way it can win the election is by getting rid of the opponents. And you know, either using the courts against President Trump to lock him in jail and to embarrass and humiliate and discredit him, or using the courts against me to just to throw me off the ballot, even though the voters, you know, in New York State, I had to get 45,000 ballot signatures in 13 congressional districts. I got 137,000 in all 26 congressional districts. I did twice when anybody wants, and we did it easily because people wanted to see me on the ballot. New Yorkers wanted to see me on the ballot. Why is the Democratic Party suing me in frivolous cases? I spent a whole week in a trial for that case. For 2 cases they brought, and another week in another trial for another case.
And you had to pay for this?
It's costing me $10 million.
Wow, $10 million. A lot of rumors are going around that Elon Musk is going to be stepping up to help RFK Jr. But once again, look, Michigan Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson isn't allowing Robert F. Kennedy to remove his name from the ballot, which could hurt Trump. Meanwhile, her party is trying to remove Cornel West. Cornel West is also running for president. That's important in this because they're removing him, but they're not removing RFK Jr. Never let these people talk about democracy ever again. They're just corrupt thugs. Look at this. From Axios, Michigan denies RFK Jr.'s escape from presidential ballot. Unbelievable. Look at this. And then you have, on the other hand, Michigan disqualifies presidential candidate Cornel West from November ballot. So they're just picking and choosing who they're removing and having stay on these ballots. But this is not the only thing that Elon Musk is talking about. Have you guys heard of any of this? It's 2030 in Europe, and you're being executed for liking a meme. Pavel Durov, the Russian-born Emirati founder of the messaging app Telegram, has reportedly been arrested in Le Bourg, near Paris in the airport, France, due to his refusal to cooperate with French authorities, who claim he is complicit in drug trafficking and other serious crimes. Now, Telegram is a huge app. I know some of you guys use this app. I know some of you guys actually use this app, which is a huge story. Now, Elon Musk is stepping in and saying, look at them. They're going after, they're legitimately going after Pavel Durov, who is the founder of Telegram. Telegram is an app where people send each other messages. You guys don't know what Telegram is? Oh, trust me. Telegram. It gets deep because Telegram is one of those messaging apps where it's supposed to be secretive, where the government can't step in on your toes when it comes to this. Okay, so some of you guys know and some of you guys use it to pass each other messages so that way that the government doesn't get involved. That's what Telegram really has become. So breaking now, reports are emerging that the United Arab Emirates government has frozen billions of dollars worth of contracts with France for the purchase of 80 fighter jets due to the recent arrest of Telegram CEO Pavel Durov. So watch this. Now, the United Arab Emirates, it's now stepping in and freezing money in contracts for France. So remember, France was trying to censor and told Elon Musk, the European Union told Elon Musk that he cannot air the President Trump interview, right? Because they were trying to block it off. So there's so much going on here between the United States of America and how it's all going down here. But now the European Union is going at it with the Arab Emirates. And as I told you before, BRICS is an alliance that is on the rise. And now they're stepping up for this guy and saying, well, you're arresting this guy who is a foreign to your country, who is the founder of Telegram. So here's what we're going to do. So Dubai is winning while Paris is failing. One country cares about free speech and the other doesn't. It's bizarre to think that the Western countries is the one on the other side of this. So Macron is basically going after the Telegram founder. So first it was Telegram. Let's go here real quick because there's a list of Alex Jones, actually a lot of other, but let me not say his name on it because I know for a fact. First Telegram, it was a list. It was a list of who and what they're going after. Okay, here we go. Yes, here's the list. Okay, UK mass arrest citizens for memes, right? This is what's going on. This is what Elon Musk is warning the United States about. We are headed in this direction. France arrests the founder of Telegram. Ireland tries to ban mean memes. Brazil forces X to flee the country. Australia tries to censor X posts. The European Union tries to blackmail Elon Musk. The DOJ in the United States of America, as you can see, all the flags represent where this is going. DOJ jails someone for a meme. Now, we know that happened here, right? And in Venezuela, Maduro blocks all access to X. So they can't even use X in Venezuela, if I'm not mistaken. I know he wants to go to war with Elon Musk. Free speech is under attack all across the globe. Now is the time to fight back with common sense, in my opinion. If they win, there's no going back. Once again, Elon, I let this post a 7-second clip from Tim Walz warning. Like, he basically posted this without saying much. And if you listen to Tim Walz, if you listen to Americans, especially the far left, then you know how they feel about all of this. They're in line with the West on this.
I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy.
Why would Elon Musk post Tim Walz saying that? That is the biggest question, but it's so easy to understand that. Now let's go here to another big story that Elon Musk is going after. He's like, yo, you guys got to see this one.
Mark Zuckerberg's coming clean on Joe and Kamala's censorship regime. The Meta CEO revealing in a damning letter to Congress on how he caved to White House demands to censor the free speech of millions of Americans. Zuckerberg explaining how back in 2021, Facebook folded, giving into pressure from the Biden-Harris administration to take down COVID-19 content during the pandemic, including posts with humor and satire. And the White House got angry, expressing significant frustration.
Guys, you remember a lot of people lost their YouTube channels for what happened in 2020. Remember, it was the election. It was also this. It was two things. Now, many of you might know a lot of content creators. I got to be careful with this, obviously. But many of you remember content creators that lost their channels on misinformation about the election and about this. And you know what I mean by this. I can't say that because I don't want the channel to get triggered. You guys know how it works.
When the company didn't meet their demands. Zuckerberg now feeling shame about his role in the censorship, saying this: I believe the government pressure was wrong. and I regret that we were not more outspoken about it. Mark also cops to election interference, censoring the bombshell New York Post Hunter Biden laptop story by demoting it. Just last month, Zuckerberg was telling Joe Rogan about the pressure the feds put on his company. Listen.
The FBI, I think, basically came to us, some folks on our team, and was like, hey, just so you know, like, you should be on high alert. We thought that there was a lot of Russian propaganda in the 2016 election. We just kind of thought, hey, look, if the FBI, which I still view as a legitimate institution in this country, it's a very professional law enforcement, if they come to us and tell us that we need to be on guard about something, then I want to take that seriously.
All right, Jessica, do you feel that
By the way, before we, because this is about to be a meltdown for the ages here that I want you guys to see, because it's pretty crazy. I don't like this. Like, Mark Zuckerberg, like, you caved. You showed your true colors. Now you're coming out and like, does he know now that Trump is about to be president? Is that why this is coming out? Like, we're supposed to just forget that you did that to millions of Americans who use this app on an everyday basis? I'm not on his side on this, man.
The White House and the FBI did the right thing or the wrong thing with censorship?
Well, I think it's a little bit more complicated than the way that Mark Zuckerberg was explaining this, or the way that your question implies. So all governments, Republican and Democrat, have relationships with social media companies and ask them to take down information that they feel is a risk to the public.
Exactly. Like, this is, I want you guys to see this, because this is how Democrats think.
And that happened before 2021. And I don't know why Mark Zuckerberg only wanted to single out the Biden-Harris administration, because there was COVID disinformation out there. Like, when Trump said it was airborne, for instance. I'm not going to get into the bleach hoax, Greg, but when Trump talked about disinfectant, well, we talked about bleach hoax a couple of weeks ago, when he said,
yeah, it was a hoax,
disinfectant and some UV light treatment, that was something that people had to tell the public, no, actually don't do that, and ended up getting censored. And the timeline on the Hunter Biden story continues to be completely wonky. So that story happened under the Trump administration, right? It was taken down for 24 hours. Everybody knew about it. It went right back up. And there is no legitimate reason to think that this election would have swung in a different direction had everyone seen the contents of Hunter Biden's laptop. And the case of that has been proven by the fact that Jim Comer has been trying for years to be able to impeach them for something and hasn't been able to find it. And now even Republicans, like Axios is reporting today, have said that they really don't want to be forced to take a vote on impeachment before Biden goes out, because there's nothing to this. So that's how I feel about it. And Mark Zuckerberg clearly thinks that Trump is going to win, and he's trying to curry favor with him. And he's not being above board with how the censorship works.
All right, so you agree with the censorship. Got it. Judge Jeanine.
Well, first of all, the bottom line here is that our government in the Biden-Harris administration was playing a lead role in the suppression of the free speech of American people. And you could say both sides do it, but there was only one side that was being suppressed. So let's not kid ourselves on this. And you can say that there was no way.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Common sense from Fox News. Thank you. We're just going to forget that Trump, like, his whole X profile was legitimately blocked off and deleted, so that way people don't see what he actually said on January 6th. Remember that? All the conservatives that were, it wasn't even just conservative, it was far leftists as well. A lot of people were getting banned left and right. YouTube was doing it too.
This election would have been changed. But the polls show the people who voted, who were questioned, 10% of them said they would have changed their vote had they known that Hunter Biden was getting money and that 10% was going to the big. Let me finish. That the money was going to the big guy. So don't make like it wouldn't have made a difference. It would have made a difference. And number 3 is James Comer does not run the Department of Justice. Merrick Garland, the one who calls parents domestic terrorists, is the one who is running the Department of Justice. And James Comer does not have the authority to indict. So let's not mess the two of them up. My question right now is, why and why now? You know, the skeptic in me believes that the only reason Zuckerberg is doing this is because he thinks Trump is going to win. Big tech is now going toward the Republicans. But, you know, he spoke to Congress in 2023 about cyberbullying. I mean, did he have a thought at that time to discuss this? And, or is the arrest of this Telegram guy, this whatever his name is, Pavel Durov, is that causing him to be a little concerned about?
See, told you this all is tying in. The Telegram founder arrested and indicted. All these big names getting arrested and indicted. It's not a coincidence. I don't feel like it is, at least.
What's going on. And, it's just too convenient right now. But the bottom line is this is confirmation that the Biden administration suppressed free speech of Americans. Whether it's truthful or not, the issue is the freedom of speech.
We knew a lot of this, Dana, but what about the timing?
Well, I think when you testify in front of Congress, often they'll say, can we send you follow-up questions? They send the witness follow-up questions, and the questioner or the person answering the question sends in the document that is considered testimony. So it's, to me, the timing is you had a deadline to respond. It's not necessarily about the election. It's just like the Republicans are smart. They had the hearing at a time when this would come out. And so Mark Zuckerberg is actually, to me, a letter like this is testimony. And I think about what the Supreme Court ruled. Was it the Supreme Court judge that, in this question about whether the Biden administration had participated in this kind of thing? And I just look back, we didn't really have social media when I was press secretary, right? So Facebook and Twitter, it was coming on board, but it really wasn't like it is today. You didn't have these fact checkers that could demonetize people and like basically take people's livelihood away or their speech away. But I cannot imagine somebody saying, hey, Dana, can you go and make jawbone this company and tell them that they have to tell people that they're not allowed to say something? I don't know what the pressure was like for the people who were asked to carry out these orders, but I just have to believe that I would have said, absolutely not. I would never do that.
Right. And it was even more than just you can't say something. It was you can't say jokes.
Yeah, that was the amazing thing. And we always knew, I think we even predicted this, that the umbrella term of misinformation was going to be another kind of version of hate language, that you could just use it whenever you want it, and it would capture dissent, not disinformation, but dissent. So if a joke hurt your feelings, or it was, I don't know, an opinion that hurt your feelings, that could be viewed as misinformation. So that a joke is to them misinformation. I think, I'm kind of.
Yeah, that's the problem. And that's what everybody is freaking out about, in my opinion, correctly. Because the moment that you give the government that power and that will, and they start infringing with each other, the FBI, the whole DOJ starts to basically work with these big companies and letting them know, hey, you have to censor this because this is misinformation or this is hate speech, and people can start going to jail for it. Then who's to say that these people won't get so power hungry in the first place to say, well, we don't like that, we're going to consider this hate speech? That's the scary part, and that's what's happening in Europe already.
I'm kind of glad that he came out and said this. It probably should have been sooner, but at least he said it. But it's kind of funny. It's like, he said he could have fought back. If only he knew someone in charge, I guess it's a contrast to Musk. The difference is so glaring. Facebook right now is basically a toothless vehicle for your sister's sorority pictures from the late 80s. Meanwhile, you go to Twitter, it's basically free speech meth. You get on there and you just suddenly go nuts. Oh my God, what's happening? You lose yourself, but you really wouldn't have it any other way because that's the way it's going to be. And so you got to wonder, if Musk had not purchased X, it would have been much like Meta or Facebook, in that, that iconic picture of Trump getting shot was censored on Facebook, they say by accident.
Yeah, it was literally censored. You guys think, look, that's why I said there's a difference between X and Twitter. Huge difference between that.
But was not censored on X. Makes you wonder, what other stories would we have missed? For example, do you think the Biden senility dementia story we would have known about if Musk hadn't bought Twitter? There's a lot of stories like that you wouldn't have known about, but now you do, which then kind of bugs me, because who does the media hate more? Musk. Why do you hate the guy that's guaranteeing your free speech, that's making these stories roam free, that's challenging you to chase the story? Finally, What is it going to take for everybody to finally believe us that we're right on everything?
Thank you.
No, seriously, think about the canaries in the coal mine when it came to borders, crime, COVID corruption, the Hunter's laptop, the influence peddling, government censorship. We talked about this. People laughed. The creeps in the media, the Don Lemons, the Chris Cuomos, the Brian Stelters, the Rachel.
I gotta say, he's not wrong. Like Greg Gutfeld, he's not wrong here. All right. The biggest thing that you could take away from Fox is the lawsuit, right? From the machines, right? The machines, I don't even want to talk about this because I know YouTube was banning people for this at some point. I know that they don't anymore, if I'm not mistaken, but the machine stuff, right? Where they got a huge lawsuit for saying that these machines were not credible for the 2020 election. Were they though? Like, were they wrong? They got sued. Like, that's probably that. When I talk to liberals, that's the number one thing about Fox News is that, oh, Fox lied and they got sued for $700 million. But let's be very honest. Were they wrong? All right, let me not go there. Let me not go there.
They all thought we were nuts as they were saying it's Republicans doing the censorship. It's Republicans in conspiracies. They were accusing the right of doing the stuff that they were always doing. And now they expect you to when they say, Donald Trump wants to ban abortion. No. The elections are perfect. No. Did you see what happened in Texas? They had to remove 1 million voters from the rolls. It's like, when are you going to just listen to us, America?
Yeah, I can't lie. He's spitting right here. They've been right about a lot. They get joked on a lot, but they've been right.
Listen to me. Don't listen to Jesse. Listen to me.
Well, on that note, maybe listen to this. There's been some attention to comments I made on the show yesterday about VP Harris. People are misconstruing my comments to mean something inappropriate. I wasn't suggesting anything of a sexual nature. I was expressing my opinion that Vice President Harris's current leadership style could be an issue if elected.
All right, that was a very, very chaotic segment. But once again, back to Elon Musk. Like, really, if you guys can, it would be amazing if you guys go like this story right here. The United Emirates, Arab Emirates, is actually standing on principles of free speech by freezing French money because France is overstepping by going after Telegram, and these, Saudi Arabia, Dubai, like the United Emirates as a whole. And I mentioned Dubai because I think, anyways, what I'm saying is these Muslim countries are actually standing on principles that the West is not standing on anymore. They're actually against banning free speech. Just saying. So yeah, let's get down to the wire. Smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you think about all of this. It's literally going on. It's going down as we speak. Trump indicted again after his poll numbers have skyrocketed. RFK Jr., Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard was put on a watch list. On a what was it? A fly zone watch list. Every time she flies somewhere, there's literally something being stamped on her ticket that says that she's on the FBI watch list. Yeah. Crazy. I'm not even making that up. Like, Tulsi Gabbard is literally on a watch list. So crazy times. It's like a game of tug of war. Game of tug of war right now. Just saying. Between, like, is the West gonna go on the European route, or is the West gonna go on the United Arab route where they are not playing these games when it comes to free speech? Yeah, she's on a terror watch list. Thank you for correcting me on that. Yes, terror watch list. All right, guys, smash the like button. See you guys on the next one. I'll be back in a bit.